Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, before we get on to this, I'm going to explain a little bit about the ordering of my uploads with this. I'd always intended to do an Odyssey playthrough because I love Greek and classical mythology, but just never really got around to it. So when Valhalla came out, I was like, I guess I can get around to it a little after I finish that. I mean, most Assassin's Creed games are just sort of bare bones with the connection. It's mostly just, yeah, there's something going on in modern time, but who gives a flying fuck? We're here for the history shit. Here to be an assassin in the history. But, apparently this game really connects into Valhalla. So, I'm going to be playing through this again. I've already played through this game multiple times. I have all of the major DLC as well as a few of the store pack stuff. I'll get into that later on. I'm looking forward to this game, guys. I really am. So let's just get to it. New game. Apparently this game is also very decisive amongst the Assassin's Creed fans. Me and my friend both agree that if Ubisoft did not do what they did with Origins and this game, Assassin's Creed was going to die. It was stuck in the same loop, and it was really getting repetitive and dull. This breathed life into it, and I'm really glad for it.
We are ready, my king.
Tell me, Alexios, have you ever gone fishing with your son?
No, never. A soldier's life is all I've had the honor to know.
I would have liked to have gone fishing with my son. But now... let us meet our fate, shall we?
Spartans! Every breath that you have taken has led you to this moment. Every drop of blood, sweat, and tear, all of it has led to where you stand right now. The Persians come to make slaves of us all. I have a better idea. I say we drench the gods with their blood! What say you, Spartans? For our sons! For our daughters! For Sparta!
I love the Spartans. They're so badass. They're also, were ironically enough, very progressive. I'll go through a few of those things as we were playing through the story. But let's start with one. I'm basically going to bring up a note about Spartans as we're playing through the game. One of the things that I'm going to mention right out the gate is, and you're going to see this as we play, the Spartans were masters of what is known as the laconic phrase. What this means is, they were all smartasses. Like, legitimately. They were taught from birth to be as much of a smartass as possible. Because it is psychologically damaging to your enemies to be basically a smartass. It's psychological warfare. I'm trying to think of a few examples while we're playing this. Oop. There we go. Okay. For example. Oop, how do I dodge again? Actually, I'm gonna pause to explain this real quickly. This one. This actually ties into what we're seeing right now. If you've ever seen the movie 300, there are a lot of very quote-worthy, or meme-worthy quotes. For example, I can't remember her name. Leonidas' wife. There's a scene where she said, she's asked, why do Spartan women think they could stand on equal terms with their men? Because, you know, in the world back then, that wasn't unheard of. And she just goes, because Spartan men come from Spartan women. That wasn't a sort of gotcha moment back then. She just sort of said it as a matter-of-fact thing in the past. That was actually a thing she said. Another thing during this fight, a Persian soldier was captured, and Dionychus was questioning him with Leonidas, and he told Leonidas, we have so many archers that our arrows will blot out the sun. In the movie 300, Dionychus laughs and goes, I guess we'll fight in the shade, you know, as a sort of witty comeback. Laconic phrase. What really happened was a little bit more badass. Leonidas actually walked up to him and thanked him for the good news, saying, my men have been walking through the hot Persian sun all day. It'll be nice to fight in the shade. Spartans were badasses, man. There's a lot more I'll go through once we, how do I die? Square, okay. Once we get into it more. Spartan kick. Give me that. Here we are. Oh yeah. Hey, big boy. Go for you. Oh, I'm immune because I'm doing the animation. Lovely. Fuck off, all of you. Hi. We can actually see the arrows flying out the sun there. That's great. Let's take a few more laconic phrases. A Spartan came across a... This is a secondhand story. A Spartan claimed to have come across a ghost. Or a... No, it was a... An Athenian, I think it was, saw a Spartan chasing a man. Chasing a ghost, I believe. And the only thing he remembered really was the Spartan yelling at the ghost as it ran away from him, stop running, thing who would die twice. So that basically means a Spartan came across a ghost, and his first knee-jerk reaction was to chase him down to kill him again. It's great. If you know any Spartan facts, leave a comment. I'd love to read them. There are a few other interesting things I can talk about, but we'll get to that later on. Hey.
Puny Spartan, I'll bring Xerxes your head.
R3. Okay.
Xerxes sends his sheep to slaughter.
Square.
Come, Persian. I will bring Xerxes your head, you insolent Spartan fool.
Come on.
Come and get
Break that guard.
Your bloodline ends today, Spartan.
Yeah, sure. I got hold square, that's right.
On your blood as the crows feed on your eyes. You will fly, and you will fail.
Yeah.
Xerxes is the king of kings. All will bow before him after I crush you. Come, fool. Enough talk.
Come on, big boy.
Die. My son is more of a warrior than you. Once I'm done with you, king, all of Sparta's sons will be slaves for Xerxes.
Yeah, sure they will.
Sparta's sons would rather die.
Kick.
That can be arranged. No match for a Spartan.
Not wrong there.
We are betrayed, my king. Xerxes knows of the path behind the mountain. They're coming.
By dawn, you will be completely surrounded.
We are Spartans. When are we not?
Spartans. That word will mean nothing when Xerxes wipes your bloodline from the face of...
Today was a day the Persians will never forget. Tomorrow is a day the world will remember.
Such a badass. Love Leonidas.
Finally. Wow, this is big, Layla. Did you really think it's the spear?
This is the one. The book was almost right on top of it. I've never been so lucky in my life. Okay, let's start her up.
Are you sure we can trust this thing? I mean, the book could be...
Just started, Victoria.
You're the boss, boss. I'll prep it for you.
Okay, so worth noting, I've made some changes since you were last in here.
There's no keeping up with the tech industry these days.
I can crank up the simulation to maximum sensory synchronization if you're up for it.
Set difficulty settings. I'm going to stick with normal like I usually do because we're here for both the story, the gameplay, guides, and just have fun. I don't really need a challenge for this game.
Let's take this one step at a time.
Understood. If you're looking for something a little more intense, I can always adjust the settings for you later. This bit will let me know how much information will be fed to you during your time in the Animus.
Okay, so guided mode is sort of like how the previous Assassin's Creeds have always been. It will tell you where you need to go, give you a bubble saying it's in this area, go check there. Exploration mode is how the game is meant to be played and is expanded on in Valhalla. Keep in mind, I'm not going to talk much about Valhalla. I ask that you don't spoil it for those that don't play it, haven't played it yet. I do have a guide video, or I do have a playthrough up of it. I'm almost done with it at the point of this recording. But both those games have this mode, and I love this mode. What this mode is essentially a pay the fuck attention type of a mode. It will give you hints, clues, and tell you it's an area like this. Go there and find it. You need to pay close attention to what what was said, as well as what's in your notes, what's in the quest log. I love this mode. It's a lot more fun than guided mode.
You don't need to worry about me. I've got this.
A little autonomy never killed anyone. At least, I don't think so. Just let me know if you need assistance, and I can always add the helpers back in. Listen, Layla, before you go off...
If this book is right, this spear, this story, it will change everything.
You're putting a lot of faith in a fairly unreliable source. Historian or not, this guy wrote about magical objects and the will of the gods.
He's not Homer. Herodotus was the first recorded historian, so there's a lot more truth in that text than you think. I mean, what better way is there of finding Isu artifacts than by trusting in the guy who claimed to meet an actual descendant?
I know, but...
I need you to trust me. You could be right. This spear, this book, it could all be crap. But something tells me it isn't, and I'm certainly not gonna let Abstergo find out first.
You're right. We haven't got much to lose anyway. There's just one small problem.
What is it?
This manuscript is in rough condition, to say the least. The DNA found on the spear has identified 2 different individuals. You're going to have to pick which strand of DNA to pursue. The choice is yours.
So this is the big sticking point a lot of people had that hated this. Basically, the purists of Assassin's Creed saying this isn't how the Animus works. It's one DNA strand, so you follow that. I honestly like the choice. Canonically, Kassandra is the main character of the series, though, and that's the character we've been playing as. Now, a fun little thing about Spartan women. I alluded this a little bit to earlier on with Leonidas' wife, but Spartan women were on equal footing as the Spartan men. There were female soldiers, female landowners, female business owners, stuff in the ancient world that were unheard of. They really were progressive. As also, side note, hold on a second. In ancient Sparta, there were only 2 ways to get a gravestone. Well, 3 technically. 1, die in battle. If you died a heroic battle, you'll be getting a tombstone. This basically means that you are allowed to be remembered throughout time. Great honor. The second is dying during childbirth. Both were considered battles worthy of remembrance. So women were very, very respected in the Spartan world. Which is interesting when you sit down and think about, ancient Greece and Sparta. You'd think that they would be, not. But I like that they chose this side of the story to tell. And it's an interesting little history lesson. Another interesting thing is, I think, if you died of old age, you were also given a tombstone. Because one thing Spartans respected were people who were able to live into old age. By old age, I mean like 60 or 70. Because not a lot of people survived past, 30. So yeah, fun little side note. I'm going to be playing as Kassandra. The story does change a little bit depending on which gender you pick. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same. So I'm going to stick with that.
She'll help us find what we're looking for. I have a good feeling about this.
All right, boss. We're finally good to go. 431 BCE, here we come.
The start of the Peloponnesian War.
Good luck in there. No pressure or anything, but we're all depending on you.
Abstergo isn't gonna win this time. If what the book says is true and we do actually find the artifact, the assassins will finally have a chance to rise again.
You can do it.
Oh, and Victoria, read the book. It holds the secrets I won't be able to find on my own when I'm in there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
So yeah, I'll go through a few more interesting historical facts, but for now, that's pretty good, I think. I'll also go through all the stuff I have in terms of stuff I have bought. Because I bought a few things, which we'll get to later on.
Hey! Shitface! Get down here! Cyclops got a message for you.
Tell your boss he can stick it.
That's for last week!
Malaka!
Alright, bring him, boy. Let's do this!
Cyclops said you like to act tough, so act tough!
Get a little closer, and I will.
Hi.
You should know by now. The Cyclops always collects his debt.
Oh yeah, my abilities, fuck.
You have a lesson to learn.
If the Cyclops wants to teach
I love the fighting in this game.
Last week? This shit happens every week. I can't keep doing this. Nah. Thanks for the warning. Ugh.
What happened to you?
It's nothing, Phoebe. All taken care of now.
The Cyclops again, huh? Hasn't he learned his lesson yet?
Apparently not. Of course. Help yourself.
Hungry to Icarus? Do you think Zeus would bless me with an ego like he blessed you, Kassandra? Maybe you could ask him for me.
I'll try to put in a good word for you.
Finally.
So, what are you doing here?
Oh, I almost forgot. Marcos is looking for you.
What does that weasel want now?
Don't know. He wants you to meet him at his new house. On his vineyard.
What? A vineyard? Malaka.
It's on the road to Sami. He says wine will make him rich.
Since when has he had a vineyard?
Yesterday, I think?
So, Marcos, who owes me drachmi, is buying vineyards. With what money?
I don't know.
Where can I find Marcus's new, beautiful estate?
You know the statue of Zeus on Mount Ainos? It's south of that.
Well, I guess I owe Marcos a little visit. Thank you, Phoebe.
I'll go tell Marcos you're coming.
My head.
Alright, so another sticking point, let's go with that one instead, is that we have choices that actually change things. Basically, this is history. Everything should already be set in stone. We're just living through their life. I'd like to add this in again, some more RPG aspects, but it's still nice. So basically, we have the four choices. We have attack, we have barter, we have romance, and then we have just leave. So good to know. All right, get out of here.
Fun's over. Tell that one-eyed freak if he ever sends you here again, I'm gonna cut out his other eye and feed it to my bird. I'll see Marcos as soon as I'm dressed.
I like that threat. Like, if he does this again,
I'll have to go.
I'm gonna cut out his eye and feed it to my bird. All right, let's go up. All right, let's get our armor.
Let's get this on.
Okay. So in case you can't tell, I've bought a bunch of things. A lot of this stuff was from me just playing the game earlier on. Excuse me. Alright, so I'm going to go through quickly what I'm going to do with this Let's Play. All Odyssey quests, obviously, are going to be recorded, because they're the main story. Add-on quests I'll do as well. Most world and characters I won't show on screen because they're just side things. But there are some that I will show. I do not remember getting Ezio's armor. What the hell? Okay, sure. I have Ezio's armor, apparently. Bounties and contracts, unless they tie into a story event, I won't be showing them. But for the most part, you're gonna see pretty much everything, with specific exceptions. Side quests that don't really need to be shown, I won't show. I will show all of the major story beats, stuff like that. So you won't miss much, but I'm going to remove some of the stuff that are boring. I will do guide videos showing the location of legendary armor and weapons, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's pull out the map, just to show how big it is. Yeah, that's a big map. So yeah, let's see how this goes out. I'll be a bit more detailed on what I'm going to be doing once we actually get into the game. Alright, so nothing more about that. I also love this. We have loadouts that we can equip. Alright, armor. Now, some of this stuff I will not equip until later in the game. Just because, you know, it's kind of unfair to equip full legendary stuff right out the gate. Although I might actually do that, just because. All depends if I have access to the... what's it called? Vanity outfit. I think I get that when I leave. Don't have any boots. Don't need that. Alright. Yeah, I'll equip specific armor sets later on. The only reason why these popped into my inventory is because I already had them unlocked. I just bought them. I'll probably end up equipping Armor of Rebellion as my base armor throughout most of the game. But, we'll switch around as we go. I do know some of this I will equip only after certain things. Like this set, this is based after the Nemean Lion. There actually is a creature in the game referred to as the Nemean Lion, which I will only equip this once I kill them. You know, have a little bit of story to it. Alright. These came with some DLCs. Alright, I think that's everything. Alright. Grab the map. Exploration I'm definitely going to be doing off-screen. So yeah, this is actually a good example of the exploration map. Mapping thing. Excuse me. If I had chose the other mode, it would tell me I need to go here. Now I have to look at the quest log. Marcos bought a new vineyard on Capolonia. It is in the southern part of Mount Ainos. So this is the only part that's question mark, south of Ainos, south of the mountain of Ainos. So that's where I need to go. Whoopa. Excuse me. As a side note, for those playing along, do not sell your armor or your weaponry. You'll find drachmae as you go, so don't worry too much about that. Ooh, down there. Okay. So, yeah, don't worry too much about drachmae for a while. We'll get it later. You want to dismantle everything you have. These guys are waiting to ambush me. Round the dick. Hi. I let you live, and this is how you thank me, huh? Yeah, no you don't, buddy. Okay, we're good. That dog? That's a regular dog. Okay. Alright.
Guess this is the vineyard. Straight ahead. There you are. Let's see what you've gotten yourself into this time, Marcos.
Yeah, seriously. I think first things first, we're gonna climb old Zeusy boy up there and get that checkpoint. I might do videos on the Ostrakas as well, because those are puzzles that are really annoying to solve. So I'm probably going to ignore that for a little bit. That way I can record where to find it and how to solve it. Climbing up. But yeah, unlike previous Assassin's Creed games, we will find armor and weapons just strewn throughout the world. I'll explain that while I'm climbing up here. We can dismantle them for parts. We can sell them for drachmae, or the money, if we want to. We can also upgrade them at a blacksmith to make them up to stuff to our level. That is only if you find an armor piece that you like. Reserve that for legendary armor pieces, in my opinion. My advice is to always just sell them. Not sell them, to dismantle them. Because you'll find better versions later on, and will very rarely actually go shopping. So that's my recommendation. Ow. What is cool, though, is that every armor piece in the game falls under certain types that we can find. There's the Mystios armor set, there is the Athenian armor set, you know, stuff like that. After we get them, and after we unlock the ability to do so, we can unlock the ability to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Turn them into vanity armors. So we'll be able to see, we'll be able to basically equip whatever we want to and have our armor look like what we want. So there's really no reason to keep certain armor pieces other than getting them as the, the brain fart. Fuck. The vanity armor piece. And there's some pretty cool armor sets in this game. Marcos?
Boss, I keep telling you, you can't do that.
Why? It's my farm. I can plant what I want.
The grapes will die here. All of them.
You have to forget what you know about the past, my friend. Together, we will revolutionize winemaking. Believe me, you will look back on this day and... Kassandra, thank the gods. Phoebe found you in time.
About grapes.
I can still hear you. I was worried sick. The Cyclops sent his scum to find you. I think they mean you harm.
I wish you would have told me that before they hit me. But that's beside the point. You bought a vineyard, Marcos? A vineyard?
Why not? I like wine, you like wine, everybody likes wine. Everybody buys wine. Why not from me?
Because you don't know how to grow grapes or make wine?
I'm a fast learner. You grow grapes on the vine, then you get some wine.
Is that simple, is it?
You know me better than to think I don't have a plan. Marcos always has a plan.
All right. Then do you have the money you owe me?
Do I have the money I owe you? Of course, of course. Well, no, not at the moment.
Then get it.
Instantly, my friend, instantly. But maybe you should do that. There is a merchant in Sami. I'm not very good at these things, as you know.
You want me to collect my own debt?
It's just waiting for you in Sami, my friend.
Who's the merchant?
Duris. You know Duris. He's very nice.
Duris? How stupid can you get? Stop giving him money!
He always pays me back.
After I threaten him.
Exactly. Everybody benefits. Duris gets his money, I get my interest, and you have work. Kefalonia is wonderful, is it not?
How do you want to handle this one?
Not like you handled that olive oil business. That was too much.
I got the money.
And now we'll never get any more from him. If you kill them all, nobody benefits. Threatening them, and maybe more. Breaking things, certainly. Steal the money if you have to, but don't rob me of my customers. Unless you can't avoid it. These things happen.
He'd better have my money, Marcos. I'd hate to have to sell our vineyard.
Of course he will. Oh, after there's another matter I want to discuss with you. After.
Fine, but I'm taking a horse. It's too hot and too long a walk to go on foot.
But...
think of it as interest, Marcos. Everybody benefits.
Of course, my friend. You shall have your pick.
Oh, Marcos. I love him. He's an idiot.
Tell me about this one.
The Skiros. You have an eye for sturdy stock, my friend. That horse can cling to mountain passes like a goat.
The one in the middle. Tell me about it.
Ah, you have picked a beauty, my friend. That horse is from Thessalonia, bred for its courage.
I like the look of the one on the right.
Ah, the Macedonian. These are bred for battle. A true warrior's horse.
We're literally just choosing the color. There's no difference whatsoever.
I've made my choice.
Which one will it be?
That one. On the right.
Fine choice. But this particular breed has a few quirks that you might not be aware of. I wouldn't want you to take an unworthy horse.
This is the one I want.
Are you sure? Because
I'm sure, Marcos.
Everybody benefits, especially you. You've chosen the great Phobos. He's never let me down.
Phobos.
Remember, meet me at the temple in Sami when you have your money from Duris. Ah, Efterpi. There's plenty of wine left to buy. Don't fret.
Not now, you fool. Phoebe's been taken. By who? Thugs of the Cyclops. Who else? Snatched her right off the main road.
Tell me where they went.
In the direction of Itimena Beach.
The beach? Can she swim?
I'll get her.
Yes, go. But don't forget about dear Duris, Kassandra.
Yeah. Fun side note, Phobos is one of the moons that orbit Mars.